All right, we're good.
Okay,
All right, let's get started. We're gonna reconvene to open session at 5:22. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and the recording may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Report out from closed session, none. Attendance roll call, President Rothberg Allen here, Clerk Reed.
Here.
Trustee Lopez Jones.
Here.
Trustee Rios.
Here.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Here.
Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. District Mission Statement. Inaugural Run. At Calistoga, we empower students to graduate with respect, empathy, integrity, and the skills needed for success in life and work. We provide a supportive, inclusive environment where students gain essential academic knowledge, critical thinking abilities, and real-world skills. Our goal is to ensure all students feel a sense of belonging, are prepared for future opportunities, and graduate with pride, resilience, and a passion for lifelong learning. Public business from the floor, agenda items. This portion of the agenda allows an individual the opportunity to address the board on any item regarding board business that is on the agenda. Without taking action or entering into a dialogue with the public, board members may briefly respond to the statements made or ask clarifying questions about topics posed by the public. Your matter may be referred to administration. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Consent agenda protocol.
no public comment.
No. Thanks. Consent agenda. Actions proposed for the consent agenda are deemed routine in nature and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless any member of the board, the audience, or staff request a specific item to be removed from the consent agenda for separate action. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This is the roll call. Right?
Yeah.
President Rothberg Allen here, Clerk Reed,
Aye.
aye. So in a hurry. Trustee Lopez Jones. Trustee Rios.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez. Board policies and administrative regulations, first reading.
This is admin reg 4112.2, which is related to certification. So this particular board policy is in relationship to our teachers who are considered out of assignment, which it has an impact on our quote unquote scores of the LCAP. But this is predominantly our 5th and 6th grade teachers who are teaching in their content areas versus just multiple subject. And so in order for us to move forward in the fall for next year so that we're not deemed for them teaching in that way, we need to have a board policy in place and then they will sign off on it in the fall. So this is the first reading, and then we will bring it to be approved at our August board.
All right, can I have a motion?
Nope, it's just the
Oh.
information.
Thanks. All right, action item 8.1. Maureen.
So you've seen your fair share of resolutions. I guess I should turn this on.
You've seen your fair share of resolutions lately, but we have one more for you. This is for our workforce housing transfer from the general fund to capital outlay. So a few months back, the board agreed with Brookwood Partners. We signed a contract with them to go through the motions of workforce housing and get a plan in place. And the expenditures are quite large. We can't use bond funds for that. So we need to transfer some general fund money to capital outlay fund 40. Soon as we sell property and get the money back, we'll put it back in the general fund. And that's essentially what this resolution is stating. So we're going to do it year by year. So for 25-26, we're estimated to spend $1,265,000. And then next year, I'll bring you the 26-27 resolution for the 26-27 year. But that's for this resolution is for 25-26.
Any questions? Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8.2 MOU with CSU Sonoma State for guaranteed admission.
So I'm excited to bring this MOU to the board. What this does is it guarantees admission for our students who meet the requirements for Cal State Sonoma. Instead of them having to go through the overall process, they will get to skip that and will automatically be accepted. They do have to apply, obviously, but if they have the meet the minimum requirements, then they will automatically be accepted. So it takes a weight off the shoulders of our students to know that if they have met the A through G requirements when they graduate, that they will automatically be accepted to Sonoma State. It also allows for them to qualify for the presidential scholarship as well as housing scholarships, which could get them up to $4,000 annually towards their education. So I'm asking the board to approve the MOU with Cal State University, Sonoma State.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Indira,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8.3 engagement letter with Christy White Associates for annual financial compliance audits.
This is to make sure that we have a contract with our auditor for the next 3 years, and we would like to continue our work with Christy White. They're a great company to work with. They have reasonable rates, and EDCO does make sure that districts switch auditors every 6 years, and we do that for Christy White through the audit management. So they give us a new manager every 3 years, actually. And so we're asking the board to approve this contract for the next 3 years at a total of $73,145 for 3 years. It's an escalating scale, so approximately $25,000 a year, so.
Any questions? Can I have a motion? Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8.4 engagement letter with Christy White Associated for financial and performance audits of bond measure A and B fiscal year 2026 through 2028.
We would like to continue with Christy White again for our bond audit management, so they do audit both measure A and measure B. And they will do that for the next 3 years. $8,800 for 25-26, $9,200 for 26-27, and $9,600 for 27-28.
Any questions? Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8.5 AB 1200 disclosure for 25-26 California School Employees Association, chapter 555.
We have some tentative agreements on the agenda tonight for the board, but before we get to the actual agreements, we have a disclosure of how much those agreements will cost the district. So this is the same format you saw for our CATS bargaining unit last month or a couple weeks ago at our board meeting. But overall, CSEA is going to receive a 2% increase on salary schedule. They're going to receive a 0.48% increase to health benefits, which actually is a 6.91% increase to their actual package. So pretty good increase there, $1,500 a year for health and welfare. Total cost with a 2.48 percentage increase is $118,868.59.
Can I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Can I have a second? Laurel, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8.6 tentative agreement between Calistoga Joint Unified School District and the California School Employees Association and its Calistoga chapter 555.
So this is the tentative agreements that Maureen mentioned, and includes the raise as well as some other language in the contract. So they voted and ratified to approve it on June 18th, and so we're asking the board to officially approve it.
Can I have a motion? Second,
Second.
all in favor? Special education support specialist job description.
So this document is a job description for a bilingual special education support specialist within our school district. The position involves specialized clerical and support duties related to the individualized education program. It includes maintaining records, coordinating meetings, facilitating communication with our Spanish-speaking families through translation and interpretation. The role requires bilingual fluency in English and Spanish, as well as experience in an office or educational setting, preferably with knowledge of IEP procedures. This is a portion of the day that will be open to staff who currently are working. And it would not exceed an 8-hour day total, but this is anywhere from 1 to 2 hours per day. So it's a small portion of the day where we have had staff doing this work, and now we're just formalizing it in a job description.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8.8 Memorandum of Understanding with California School Employees Association, Chapter 555, regarding the process for involuntary transfer.
So this MOU between the school district and CSCA establishes a process for involuntary transfers due to the need to increase our special education paraeducators at the junior senior high school to one, and decrease a position at Calistoga Elementary School. So it would be a move for a instructional or a special education paraprofessional from CES over to the junior senior high school. As there were no volunteers through the standard voluntary transfer process, and we had no existing involuntary transfer language, we came to agreement on the MOU, stating that it would go to the least senior special ed paraeducator from CES. And we have a person, and she's excited to be a part of the junior senior high school team. So we're recommending you approve the MOU.
Can I have a motion?
Moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8.9 Memorandum of Understanding with California School Employees Association, Chapter 555, regarding the process for assigning additional paraprofessional hours.
So this MOU is between the district and CSCA, establishes a process for assigning additional paraprofessional hours for the 25-26 school year. Previously, we had 4 paraprofessional positions that had full-time equivalents permanently increased by 30 minutes per day. A recently vacated position was not posted at the higher FTE, and the new hire declined the increased hours. So the opportunity for those additional hours was offered to all paraprofessionals, with the most senior employee requesting the hours to receive the increase effective July. So we're asking you to approve the MOU.
I have a motion. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 25-26 classified salary schedules.
These are the salary schedules associated with the tentative agreements that you just approved, and also the AB 1200 disclosure.
Can I have a motion?
All moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8.11 updated hourly and non-co-curricular stipend salary schedule.
This is the salary schedule that we have for those things that don't fit in any of our other salary schedules. And so one of those things was bargained this year for our certificate staff, which is they are going to receive a $300 per day stipend for professional development if the district is asking them to attend any kind of professional development, webinar, conference whatsoever. So $300 a day was added as a certificated professional development participation onto that salary schedule. And that needs to go to the board to be approved.
Can I have a motion? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Closing items. Can I have a motion?
Motion to move, adjourn the meeting. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have a meeting next week. Well, that's usually part of closing items.
Yes. Wednesday at 12 o'clock.
So, yeah, everyone.